Welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports, with me, Coach Ryan D. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys are losers. Tom Brady is the greatest athlete of all time. What a game. Stay tuned for our game recap and further explanation of why I think Dak is a loser, Dallas are losers, Tom Brady's the GOAT, and maybe in the comments, you can change my mind. Roll the intro. And if you're new to Hot Garbage Sports, help us do what the Dallas Cowboys couldn't do, convert in the red zone by hitting subscribe and like on this video. One of the biggest games of the year because it features the defending Super Bowl champions Tom Brady and America's favorite team and my favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about the main storyline of this game. There were a ton of great things to look at. And if you are not a diehard Cowboys fan or you are an optimistic Cowboys fan, well, you may not see things the way I'm seeing them right now. Also, if you're a Bucs fan or a general NFL fan, this may escape you that this has been happening for quite some time because, well, you just may not be as dedicated to the team as what we see here. So why do I say that the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott are losers? Dak throws for over 400 yards, no turnovers, has an absolutely fantastic game, protects the ball, makes passes on time, and really does everything you'd need to do to win a football game and loses. Not a big deal. He's playing the greatest of all time. This happens. Trust the process. But, if you've been watching the Cowboys closely for quite some time, Dak is a fantastic fantasy quarterback. Dak is a statistic machine. But the one stat that matters in football, wins, baby. Just win, baby. Al Davis said it the best, even though he got a little long on the tooth at the end. And Dak hasn't done it. Dallas hasn't done it since Tony Romo's infamous screw up of the hold. Laces out, baby. Dallas has issues that they have had since the Romo days, since Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, heck, Wade Phillips, for Pete's sakes. This goes all the way back to Terrell Owen days. Dallas does not win big games when they matter. How do we know that? Well, they've had some of the most talented teams in the NFL with some of the best players in the NFL, and they have not come anywhere near a Super Bowl in almost a quarter of a century. They put up statistically some of the best seasons in the NFL from time to time. They have statistically some of the best players in the NFL from time to time, yet Dallas seems to have two major key issues that always plagues them regardless of who's playing for them. Number one, they get to the red zone, they don't convert. Greg the Leg in this game ends up missing a kick. Don't worry, we'll get to Greg. But we can't pick on Greg too badly because after two fantastic defensive turnovers by the Dallas Cowboys and the defense that we said had some question marks to be answered entering into this game, spoiler alert, they answered them. Dak Prescott in the offense couldn't convert and put up 6 points 3 different times. That is unacceptable when you are playing Tom Brady, the Bucs, and you're looking for a Super Bowl. And every year, Dallas is looking for a Super Bowl, and when you pay Dak Prescott the type of money that he got paid, you expect that to be converted. He's not a game manager. You're not looking for field goals. You need to take those turnovers, especially turnovers that happen in the frickin' red zone, and convert them. Doesn't do it. So you walk away from 3 red zone situations with 3 points. That's embarrassing. At no point in time did I ever think that Dallas had a sniff of winning this game, even though it was that close. Because history tells me we're not going to convert in the red zone. Dak's going to find a way to not be able to put up those points. Wonky things are going to happen, like missing an extra point or starting a kicker with a bad back so he misses a field goal and then makes a bomb at the end, whatever, and penalties at an inopportune time. And this all just starts at the top. There are organizations in sports like the Cowboys, the Maple Leafs. Oh, sorry, Leafs fans. I feel you. I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. You're a diehard Leafs fan. The Buffalo Sabres, the Cleveland Browns, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry if I'm picking on your teams. The Detroit Lions, they just don't win. They don't win for a reason. Dallas used to win, but lately, 2 generations of it, Not even close. And history continues to repeat itself for Dallas. So the good news for Dallas before we get to the Bucs, their defense looks great. Micah Parsons looks awesome. Diggs with a great turnover. Donovan Wilson, not too bad today. He's still got some growing to do. So not bad by Wilson. Vander, Esch, Smith looked relatively strong. And Lawrence, Demarcus Lawrence is the best player on the defensive side of the ball for the Cowboys. He's a monster. So the Dallas defense did exactly what they needed to do and caused 4 turnovers, gave Dallas a chance to win the game. Dallas's offense just couldn't capitalize. There were a couple times where the Dallas defense got torched. Heads up, Antonio Brown, he torched them a couple times for some big plays. Tom Brady statistically shot the lights out, did Tom Brady things. And now let's go and switch gears off of Dallas, because that's enough complaining about Dallas. Now, Tom Brady is a very interesting case. Not only did he win repeatedly because he is that good, but he finds himself in positions where people just give him wins. Let's think Seattle not running the ball with Marshawn Lynch. Let's take a look at the comeback against Atlanta. Sure, that was Tom Brady, but Atlanta kind of handed him that game too. And then let's take a look at this game with Dallas. Dallas allowed him to stick around in this game. You convert in the red zone and Tom Brady's dead in the water because now he's got to catch up 14 to 16 points as opposed to 1 point at the end of the game. So people are always giving Brady the ability to hang around and he always wins. That's the Brady factor for you. And that is what a winner is and a winner does. There is such a thing as winner's luck. And when we're looking at the NFL, it's very different from the NHL, which we cover on this channel, because the NFL, every game matters. Unlike the NHL, it's a little different in that sense. But more importantly, in the NFL, the process is different. It's such a long-term game of attrition in the NHL with the amount of games that you're playing that in the NFL, the process is different because you can go from a bottom-feeding team through a good draft and a good offseason and a healthy team into a Super Bowl winning team or contender. It can change like that in the NFL. It's the only sport I've ever really seen where teams can shift so quickly. It hasn't happened lately, but we talked about the factor of bad organizations before. So Tom Brady has been that consistent force in the NFL. Tom Brady's wide receivers, very interesting. Mike Evans misses 2 passes because of a finger, not his own finger, finger of a Dallas Cowboys player. A little bit of a fingertip off of it. Mike Evans misses 2 big grabs. Now he's hurt. The question is Mike Evans finally slowing down after all of the times he has taken hits and made amazing plays for the Bucs? It's only 1 game, so we'll have to wait and see. Chris Godwin has an okay game today as well too. Gets a really nice touchdown, makes a couple key drops at inopportune times, but Antonio Brown, he's looking like the Antonio Brown of old. If Antonio Brown is going to keep this up all year, he may actually end up finding himself as the #1 wide receiver on that Bucs offensive chart. So pretty cool that AB is back, even though he's absolutely insane. No idea how Tom Brady stayed friends with him through this, but good for you, Tom. Terrific. The running back situation in Tampa Bay is interesting as well too. Ronald Jones causes a big fumble, doesn't get put back into the game. Leonard Fournette, has he taken over lead back duties? He did cause 1 turnover himself too, but it looks like this may be Leonard's backfield. I really expected a much more committee approach from Tampa Bay. It was in the first couple drives, but we really didn't see Gio Bernard till the end of the game. Keyshawn Vaughn didn't touch the ball at all. And Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, it was the Fournette show. Really not a lot of running to talk about in this game, but something to monitor as we go forward. The offensive and defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are absolutely fantastic. Dallas did not want to test that defensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They kept everything to the outside, lots of throws. Zeke was kept totally in check, and I don't think that was the fault of Zeke. I think that was scripted by Kellen Moore and the Dallas Cowboys. They just didn't want to battle their aging offensive line against that dominant defensive front 7 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Devin White continues to make a claim that he is the best linebacker in the league, even though TJ Watt signs an absolute monster deal this year. Tampa Bay still looks like the best team in football right now. The Chiefs are definitely going to be knocking on their door all year. And it is very likely that we end up seeing a Tampa Bay Chiefs rematch as it goes. So Brady looks younger, even though he's not. Brady looks faster, even though he's supposed to be slower because he's older, and Tampa Bay looks like an absolute force. The good news for the Cowboys going forward, though, and Cowboys fans, is that the next 10 games for the Cowboys are against non-playoff teams, and Dallas should come out of this season with a reasonable record. Just need to temper those expectations on a Super Bowl contender, especially after what we have seen tonight, because the next 10 games, Dak Prescott and the boys, they're going to show up. They're going to do quite well. They're going to put up massive stats. They'll get some wins. Cowboys Nation, like myself, we're all going to get fired up like we're going to the Super Bowl. But playing these teams in the big stages, in the national lights, that's where Dallas needs to win. And until Dak Prescott and the Cowboys raise a Lombardi trophy and make a deep playoff run and prove they can win big games when it matters, I'm going to resign to my initial thought that Dallas and Dak are losers. Winning record be damned. Dallas looks for Super Bowls. They've talked about it forever, and they will spend whatever it takes to get there. They're just not delivering the goods. There's no reason a team with the advantages that the Cowboys have over the rest of the league in terms of who they are, where they play, and who their owner is willing to, well, basically what their owner is willing to do to win a Super Bowl. There's no excuse at this point for the Cowboys other than the fact that, how about them boys? So we'll see if Dak and the boys can finally get back closer to the end of the season and win some big games when they matter. But for now, it is going to be a long 11 weeks for Cowboys fans. And Tom Brady and the Bucs, well, terrific Tom looks like he's ready to roll over the NFC. This has been Coach Ryan D with Hot Garbage Sports. What an opener. Fantasy stats through the roof. Crazy. Hope you guys started anybody in this game except the running backs. See you next video.